You are now listening to the Inner Circle Podcast Network.
Never die. 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 Never die.
Fuck you.
All right, it is 5:03 p.m. You might be wondering, where the fuck have I been? What the fuck has been going on? But before we get into that, I'd like to thank Jon Andersen's Thrive Body Transformation Program. Look, if you're trying to lose weight, feel great, get in shape, all that good shit, guess the fuck what? You can easily do that with Jon Andersen's Thrive Body Transformation Program. Get hooked up, links in the notes. You ain't got to be an athlete. Anybody can fucking do this. Get fucking down. All right, it's as easy as that. Jon Andersen's Thrive Body Transformation Program. CH Concrete, serving the San Francisco Bay Area. That's CH Concrete, serving the San Francisco Bay Area. No job too big, no job too small. Residential, commercial, does not matter. CH Concrete can help you. Just mention the Angry Dad, and they'll take care of you. Sleep Terra Clothes. Sleep Terra Clothes is a dark occult brand. Look, they have beard oil. I have a thick-ass, gorgeous beard, and that shit is luscious as fuck. And you know what? You can get hooked the fuck up at sleepterraclothing.com. Just use the link in the notes. Get hooked the fuck up. Sundays, get your lawn thick green and mean and all that fucking bullshit at Sundays. Use code AngryDad at checkout and get hooked the fuck up. New sponsor. I know they've been hounding me. They've been fucking on top of me, but it is Vitable. Vitable. Get 40 fucking % off your order at Vitable.com. Use code AngryDad. And guess what? It is a vitamin company that makes customized vitamins for you. Packs. You tell them what you want. They put it in a fucking pack. You get a day pack, a night pack, whatever the fuck you want at Vitable.com. Use code AngryDad for 40 fucking % off at Vitable.com. And I cannot forget Official. Official is a hip hop inspired street band coming straight from Tucson, Arizona. And guess the fuck what? The homie Kaz will hook you up with some fucking sick ass threads. I'm not wearing my hat because it's dingy as fuck, because once you wash a hat, the hat is gone and all that fucking good shit. And you know what? I'm going to rattle on with sponsors all fucking day, but at the same fucking time, I got Riley from The Plunge, my brother from another mother. I would almost say he's like a son, because that's what he reminds me of. The way he talks, the way he speaks, the way he acts, and the way he treats his dad. It just is what it is.
I treat my dad incredibly, okay?
You do. And my son treats me incredibly too. But you know what? I'm a fucking moron in his eyes.
My dad's not a moron. He's more clueless, okay?
And that's how my son sees me. Like I'm some fucking boomer that doesn't know shit, but I'm not a boomer. I'm not a millennial. I'm not a zennial. I'm not a fucking latchkey baby. I'm in this middle generational fucking period of they don't know what the fuck they call me, because I grew up on the streets, but I also grew up with the internet.
You're a hybrid of all sorts. I gotta say, took a month off, did not miss a beat. Sponsors, listen, people, that was one take. All right, I witnessed with my own eyes. This man's done it before. It's like riding a bike. He didn't miss a step. What's up, Ben?
Oh man, not much, man. Like I said, I had this huge project. You guys know I'm working on this Legends of Iron, so it's literally consuming all my time, because come to find out, a freelance podcast producer is a real fucking title, and trying to step into the realm of what that is and what that means has consumed all of my time right now. But so I've just been like really concentrating on like an actual career in podcasting. So it's like this weird ass,
like the actual career area of it, where like you actually have to be a professional and do like the real things.
Yeah.
And that's sick though. As like coming from the whole indie community, like you can lose sight of that. And then you see someone like you're going in, you're doing it.
Yeah. It's weird to see, because like I'm scheduling guests, I'm setting up times, I'm setting links, I'm emailing, I'm confirming, I'm editing, I'm fucking I'm monitoring stats and all these things, and it's like fuck, it really requires time out of your day. And because of this, I have more respect for people that actually sit in front of a computer all day, because that was never a problem of mine. That was never a thing. That was never an issue. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Someone who just left his computer all day job to come sit in front of a different computer for my night computer job of podcasting. You know, you get used to it. Welcome.
You know what I'm saying?
Maybe invest in some blue light glasses. They'll help, you know.
That's the amount of screen time that I'm having now. Because you know, when you get that alert on your phone on a Sunday from your iPhone, and you know, I got an Apple computer, and so like it gives you this readout, and it's like tripled. You know, because I was already a social media. Like, I hate saying the word influencer, but that's basically what I am.
Yeah, I mean, you have a following. You have a good
I have a following. Yeah, and you know, and so I do.
You're active in trying to keep up with said following.
And that's the truth.
Yeah.
And that requires so much attention and so much time and responding. And so adding on other Instagrams, adding on other things, you know, and I do, since I'm already doing mine, I like, you know, for Inner Circle, I'm doing the same thing. I'm like, I'm already here. It's as easy as for me to just copy and paste and put shit up because, you know, I've learned the algorithm of social networking and social media and the algorithm of YouTube and the little hacks and tricks from just networking with other creators that I've like, now that I can actually implement it in other things, I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna spread the fucking wealth.
I appreciate it as someone who's not very good at the Instagram or keeping active on our page's Instagram. It's much appreciated to see us actually getting a post now.
Oh yeah. Well, you know, put up the posts and gathering the followings and gathering the people, you know, and it's funny because like, I never really, you know, when Facebook came out, it was, I was in that transitional period where MySpace was still a thing and Facebook came out to this new thing and everyone's like, everyone's like, nah, fuck Facebook. It's all MySpace. And I literally was like, oh man, I'm gonna jump on this Facebook. And I was the only one in my area, in my group with a Facebook. And I'm like, this sucks. You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden it blew up. Yeah. And then it was the same thing when Instagram came. I was on it really quick. I actually took to it really well because like at that moment in time I was trying to create a bodybuilding career.
Yeah.
And then I got injured, so that stopped all that. But the thing is, as a male, when Instagram first started, I had about like 5,000 followers. And I'm a fucking guy. I'm not a fucking woman shaking my ass or showing my ass. I'm just a fucking regular guy. And everyone was like, yeah, 5,000 followers. That's fucking insane.
Yeah. It was then, though.
Yeah.
Like now you can get 5,000 Twitter followers in like 4 days if you just follow everyone. But like back then, the algorithms weren't what they are. So
yeah, if you weren't posting fire, no one gives a fuck.
Yeah. I had Instagram. Instagram came out like early high school for me. So right in my heyday of like just.
That makes me feel old because I was working at night when I first started on Instagram.
Listen, Hunter was probably in middle school when Instagram came out. Honestly,
just like my son making me feel old.
Yeah, that's what I gotta listen. It's my job in the inner circle as the token young guy to make people feel a little bit old sometimes. That is the tagline of The Plunge. That's the tagline I like most. It's the podcast that makes you feel young again. And I think that's an accurate yet fun title for us.
Oh, it does hit because like the conversations that you guys have on The Plunge are the exact same conversations my kids have to each other. And, you know, and it's hilarious because I'll be in the other room or I'll be in the room and they'll talk about me in front of me. And I'm, you know, I pay no attention, but I'm rolling my eyes at the same time. And then when you guys have your guys' conversation, I'm like, oh my God, these are just like my boys here at the house. And because I have 3 sons, my oldest is 21.
Okay.
My younger son is 16. My daughter just turned 15, and my youngest son is 10. And my daughter, she's a fucking genius. At her age, she's just smarter than all the boys. Period. She's just, you know, she's so witty that she'll hit him with that fire and they don't even know it because it's like that subtle hit where it's like,
it's not, I'm smarter than you insult that like it's above the person you're insulting because they don't even get it. It's one of those like
exactly. And then my my son is the epitome of what an IPA hipster would be without an IPA in his hand.
So Joe B.
Yeah.
A little.
But little and really thin.
So just Joe B, but thin.
But thin. And my oldest son looks nothing like me. He's the spitting image of his mom. He's tall. He's about 6 foot. probably maybe about 150, 170 pounds at the most. Right, like he's thin. He like it's just so funny because like when we're standing next to each other, wouldn't even tell. Wouldn't even tell. And when I used to go to his school for like parent teacher conferences and shit, he'd walk in and then just like I said, I wear this shirt to a school function. Okay, that's how, like, there's no fucks given in me. I don't, no one's telling me shit. And then I'll walk in and then they never say anything. They're like, oh, he's doing great. Have a good day. And then, you know what I'm saying? End of the conversation. And then I'll get an email saying, hey, these are the things he's fucking up on, because they don't even want to have that conversation.
They were afraid to talk to you.
Oh, yeah.
He's not doing great, in fact.
Exactly. He's doing horrible. And guess the fuck what? You know what I'm saying? That's the one thing about like with COVID now, because, my son's, he's out of high school and all that stuff. He's working, got a job, got his own apartment and all that good stuff.
Hell yeah.
But my younger son is 15 and he's the exact copy of me.
Yes.
And he's like, he's got the thickness. He's got he has hair now, but I had hair then too. And he's got the height. He's got the build. And it's just hilarious because like, he's like, I don't look like you. I'm like, you spit an image. All right. Yeah. You put on a little muscle, work out a little bit. You'd be my double ganger right now.
Yeah. That's like, my brothers don't want to admit it, but like, if you look at photos of Big Mike, my father, when he was 25, he looks identical to both my brothers, like skinny and tall and like the same build and everything. And now Big Mike is more of a physique such as myself. And they're like, he's like, he'll get there one day. And they're like, no, I'm thin. I would never do that. And I was like, listen, boys.
That's what he said.
Yeah, listen, brothers. My bell came early. All right. I joined the hefty gang early on. It's still coming for you. It is in our teens.
See, you still have a chance because it started early. You can change it early. Them, because when it hits, it's gonna be like a fucking just a fucking flash of lightning. Fuck.
Yeah, where did this beer belly come from?
Oh, exactly. Mike's about to have that bad bod.
Yeah. What is happening? They're gonna have to learn. I learned at age 12 how to be a chubby kid. They're gonna have to learn at 45. You know how hard it is to learn how to be newly heavy at 45?
It's not fun. See, even right now, I'm dealing with weight issues now. But I had a heart attack back in October, which everybody knows, and full blown dying. Had to have surgery awake. But I had dropped a significant amount of weight because I was, I was on a program. I was getting my shit back together. And I was really getting back into shape. And then after I had the heart attack, my body's so out of fucking whack that it's holding on to everything. So like, there's no weight being dropped at the moment. But the thing is, it's going to happen. I just got to let my body reset before all the hormones and shit fucking line back up.
Yeah, I'm about to enter grind season for the re-arrival of Skinny Riley.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm in like a work heavy mode right now, and when that ends in about a week and a half, I think I'm just gonna be grinding. I think I'm a 4 work gym guy and a run after. I think I'm trying to double down.
Hey, let me tell you something right now, and this is just gonna come from a perspective of how I understand body types. And with your body type, find yourself if you can find just basically Google. Because I was gonna send you a workout plan, but that's not what you need, bro. You need a complete revamp of what you're doing. If you find yourself a powerlifting program, follow that powerlifting program, because what's going to happen is it's going to create the base muscle that you need to build the physique that you want. Because what it is you need I'm pretty sure you already have strength. You're going to increase your strength.
Yeah, because I'm a low key, like athletically built, fatter on top, like pretty strong underneath, big guy.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was. You know what I mean? So if you find yourself a powerlifting program,
you look at these legs, you wouldn't think the top is what it is. You'd be like, oh, that's
some strength. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. If you find yourself a basic powerlifting program, follow it from beginning to end, because powerlifting programs do come with a complete, like a month, 2-month program set where you just follow the program to the very end of the program and you'll 100% change your physique. The only thing that you wouldn't do is follow an eating program of a powerlifter because that's social all about eating heavy and putting on weight, which you don't need to do. But by doing a powerlifting program, you'll and then having like a calorie deficit, you're gonna get strength. You won't be as strong as you like, but the thing is, it's gonna create that muscle that you need.
Yeah, it gets those spots.
That's it. Deadlifts are important.
I'm ready.
You know what I'm saying?
I've never done any sort of like lifting at all. At my gym life ever.
I mean, you have to. It's a mandatory. And then on top of the two, like I said, concentrate on grip strength. One of the things that, like, and this is just all just like key things that people should need to know is practice your stance of how you lift, because you should have a square footing, toes forward, shoulders apart, slightly net. Like, you know how when you can flex your thighs and your calves, that's how you should be doing that every time you lift anything, because what happens is it helps stabilize all the muscles together and create this preload on your body, and that preload will help tone your body.
I mean, I'm ready.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Next time Hunter comes home, I just want to like lift him out of the building. I'll be like, "What's up, pussy? I'm strong."
That's it. One-handed, cane style.
One-handed. Yeah, pinky push-ups. You know.
That's it. Ready. Yeah. No, lifting's my lifestyle. Like me and my wife, that's literally, you know what I'm saying? That's like, you know, she loved working out and I love working out. Cause like, and it's the most dickest thing to say, but when I dated, I told me there's a priority and the gym comes before everything. It is what it is. But the thing is that's her priority too. She was like, no, I love to train. I love to work out. This is my style. This is my life. I'm like, oh, same fucking here. So like we would always work out together. She would hate it because I used to work at night and I'd get off, wake her up at like 2:30 in the morning. Let's go to the gym. And then we work out. She'd come home and then leave to work from my house, you know, after like working out for 3 hours and then go to work and then, you know, come home, go to sleep. And then when I get off work, I'd wake her up again and do it.
You're a menace to society.
Oh, I had my brother used to train with me because me and him had the same work schedule.
Yeah.
And we worked together. And one day, like 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm yelling at him at the top of my lungs while he's in the squat rack, falling over, crying. He's like, I'm like, get the fuck up. And there's like a handful of people in the gym in the middle, and I'm sitting there screaming at him, literally standing over him. You ever see that pump and iron where Arnold like literally does the weight and squats and then moves his buddy out the way? That was literally what I was doing to him, and I was just yelling at the top of my lungs, like, get the fuck, because like we were doing a 300 rep squat set.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? He was just like, and he's like, I got diarrhea.
Did he get it up?
No, he crawled his ass to the bathroom and sat in there for about an hour until he calmed down and stopped crying.
And did he come back the next day?
Yeah, he comes back every day. He's a glutton for pain. He's a glutton for pain.
There you go. I need that in me. All right, I'm gonna work on that.
And that's what you're supposed to.
I'm gonna work on that. Shout out to Kaz, by the way. Just dropping pounds.
Dropping them LBs.
Just a sexy boy. Was already a sexy man, and now he's living his best skinny life.
That's what I'm talking about. But you know, it takes time. Everyone's got to hit that breaking moment where you like, I need this, and that's all that fucking matters. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, when I had mines, my mom was actually the person who pushed me over the edge. You know what I'm saying? Because I went through like a huge divorce. Yeah. And I was living at my mom's house, sleeping on the couch. And she looked at me and she was like, what do you want to do with your life?
That's never a question again for me.
Never heard that question in my entire life. Like, you know, like when I was growing up, I just worked. That's all I did. I worked crazy hours, crazy jobs. I've gone through significant damage. I've been stabbed, had my finger smashed. I've been fucking almost burnt to death, crushed, fucking, you know what I'm saying? I've lived like a crazy life. Like the reason I got my very first like real job is because somebody died. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Place called U.S. Pipe and Foundry. We used to melt metal, scrap metal down into molten iron. Yeah. And I'd be the person pouring the iron into the fucking machines.
Oh.
Yeah.
And the guy died on the job?
There was a huge explosion. Guy got basically burned to death because when
Are you aware of this when interviewing for said position?
Well, I went in the very next day after it happened
For your interview?
It wasn't an interview. There was no interview. I literally
you walked in and you were like, I hear there's an opening.
Yeah, no, literally, it happened. The next day I walk in there, I'm like, hey, I'd like a job. And the security guard took me to the HR office and was like, this guy just asked for a job. So they took me, walked me straight to the fucking place. Like, that's where the guy died. That's where you work. And don't even worry about filling out an application.
Like, we really need this position filled.
Yeah. Well, 18 years old. I had my first son. I had his mom living with me. You know what I'm saying? We did get married, but that's a whole nother bag of beans. But, I was taking care of her. I was taking care of me. No high school education. No nothing. I was just like, I know how to work. I'm good with my hands. And for 10 years, I worked a minimum 6/12s.
Wow.
Yeah.
All at this iron place? Or?
All the same place, exactly where it happened. I worked there for, like I said, even after all the accidents I had, all the burns, all the the crazy mishap shit, even pulling people out that had been mangled and just going right back to work.
Stuck in.
Well, I was making crazy fucking money. It was like, at that moment in time, I was making almost $2,000 a week because they paid us per week. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, yeah. They don't want to throw you on salary. Then they
exactly.
benefits for when you die.
Yeah, and it had insurance, and it was just like everyone. I'm Mexican. I'm Mexican, but everybody else there was straight fucking just like Mexican, like fucking. I was only a Mexican American there. You know what I'm saying? There was a handful of Asians, handful of black people, handful of white people, but everybody was just on dope.
That does not sound like a good thing for a dangerous place.
You had to be a maniac to work there. Like everyone that I worked there with would just like, it was the most eye-opening, craziest experience I had because like I was literally, it was like being in a psych ward because everybody was so fucking crazy. So fucking crazy. And any of my buddies, and a lot of them follow me on Instagram. A lot of them listen to the podcast. They all fucking know. I'm not lying. You know what I'm saying? It was the most craziest shit ever.
That's insane.
Yeah.
My first job was Rite Aid. I checked out like old dudes at 11 at night buying candy and lube.
Hey, my first job at 16 years old was I moved trees.
You moved trees?
I moved trees. I had literally had a dolly, and like I was working at this nursery, and there are those big ass trees in the pot. So I would literally pick one up, move it over, pick one up, and I'd line them up in rows, and then that's all I did. I did that for like a year.
I gotta say, Ben, I don't have a blue collar bone in my body, and it's not lack of wanting to do it. I work hard. But all my jobs, let's see, I was a front end associate at Rite Aid. Then I was a waiter at a old person diner that also served ice cream for 3.5 years. And then I went to college, and that was it. Now I have just my adult person job.
Oh, I mean, I had so many jobs, man. Like, and I'm a fucking idiot. Always have been, you know what I'm saying? I'm smart here, but not here. and I had got a fake ID when I was younger, like I said, at 16, to say I was 18 so I could work. But now that I think back, like, why didn't I get one saying I was 21?
21, yeah.
Exactly. But that's what I was working with.
Okay. Yeah, no, that explains the previous smart. Okay.
You see what I'm saying? I just wanted to work and make money. I was never gonna do school. School was
That's how you know you're a grinder, though. You weren't even. You were gonna get your booze anyway. You didn't need to be 21.
Exactly, at all.
You weren't worried about that. That's why you didn't think to do it, because you didn't have to worry about that. You probably looked 30 years old at 16.
Exactly. I worked at that nursery. I worked at a laundry place where it was a commercial laundromat where they, people, the hotels and all that, they would bring in their stuff and then we would feed the machines And then, and because of how well I worked, I ended up becoming like this person who weighed. You ever when you work in a hotel?
Ben, do you know what your problem was? This is a drug front for money laundering, and they were like, "This guy's working too efficiently."
Exactly.
We need to give him side stuff because people are going to start catching on.
I swear to God, that's exactly what ended up happening. Because like every time I turned around, I'd be doing these other jobs. They're like, "No, you'd be better over here."
Yeah. They're like, we need this guy to get his eyes out of our dirty money right now.
Exactly. Oh man, it was so fucking crazy. And then, like I said, I worked at US. I worked there, so I went from the laundromat, and then I worked at a trophy warehouse where I just packed trophy stuff in a box. Did that for maybe 3 or 4 months.
Like straight up, like trophies. Like, oh, there's a team of a kid's baseball team is winning their championship today. We need to like give them a pack of trophies type thing, or
no. It would be like the places that made trophies would order their supply from us.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right. So, you're the bulk. I've never thought about wholesale trophies. I just always assumed the trophy places were the wholesale trophies.
Oh yeah. So I did that, but the lady was crazy. The lady that ran it was crazy. It was even more funny because, like, I was telling my mom one day, because my mom's work, the place we lived, I never worked farther than my city where I work. So almost every one of my jobs was like literally walking distance to my house. So I'm working in this warehouse, and I'm telling my mom about this fucking bitch ass fucking manager, man. She's fucking nuts. And then I'm describing her to her, and she's all, I know that person. I used to work with her. When you tell who the fuck I am, and then she's gonna fire you. And guess what? She fired me.
Fired you?
Oh yeah,
that's incredible.
And
your mom called it a shot.
Oh yeah, but the thing is my mom that I got my work ethic from my mom, because growing up, my mom worked 3 jobs pretty much every day of her life. You know what I'm saying? She'd always working. She was never home. My grandma raised us, but my mom was always there. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is all she ever did was work. She had 3 kids. Or 4 kids. I don't even forget my brothers and sisters. I got 1 brother, 2 sisters. And so she just worked all the time. And so my mom used to always tell me, if you want something, you got to work for it, because I ain't going to fucking give it to you. And I'm like, guess what I fucking did?
Word. Message received.
And when I would buy stuff, she would never fucking say anything to me. You know what I'm saying? Because it was just like,
yeah, you should be doing that.
Oh, at 14 years old, I owned a car. And I parked it around the corner. No registration, no insurance, no license, no nothing. Just parked it around the corner and drove it.
Why? For what purpose? I need to diverge here.
Hey, I'm from the hood, bro. We gotta have a car. You gotta roll. You know what I'm saying? Want to get point A, point B?
You guys use bikes?
Oh, I had a bike, but then I got a car.
That's
I was
fair.
working.
Much more efficient. You're right.
Man, I spent $600 on an 84 Turbo Monte Carlo that was fucking baby blue with clouds painted on the side because somebody's kid fucking fucked the car paint up.
That's why it was $600. You
exactly.
got a deal right there.
Yeah, I drove that car for 4 years.
Did you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I drove that car up until I got my license. It was great.
Hey, you want to hear something even worse than that? I basically bought I had a buddy of mine go down to we have a place called the Good Guys Car Show.
Yeah,
it's in Pleasanton Fairgrounds. I'm pretty sure they're all over the United States, but basically went down there, bought a drag race car.
Yes,
drove it on the streets, sold it to my cousin. My cousin just dogged the fucking dog shit out of it, but I loved the car so much I finally convinced him to sell it to me. He sells it to me. And I fucking souped this fucking car, man. I put the fucking, I'm talking about I was 600 at the fucking 600 horsepower, 700 fucking torque, 100 shot NOS, fucking everything illegal. And I drove that motherfucker for 6 years, no registration, fucking, because I couldn't smog it. Oh, dude, it was a lot. You ever been to NASCAR?
No.
Or you ever been to a racetrack?
I've been to a racetrack.
You know how when you hear the car, it's like, wah, 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 wah,
yeah.
wah, and it just vibrates your whole body. That was my car. And it was like, everybody knew it was illegal. Even the police, the cops, I swear to God, I don't know why, cops would never pull me over. highway patrol would get right behind me,
But never
and
pull the
I'd be like
trigger?
sweating bullets, like, oh, they're gonna fucking get me, and then just zoom past me. But the car was so fucking immaculate, so fucking nice, and so like just like out of the ordinary that people would just kind of look at it and respected it because they're like, all right, you got some fucking heat under there.
You got any photos of this thing? Because I'm curious now.
I got one photo of it floating around here somewhere, but like it's not even a good photo. It was like when one of my sister took a picture of the car, and like it was just sitting because it was like in the middle of getting the new motor put in, because like I blew the motor up, split the transmission, and blew the gears out the back because I was doing 190.
You're a savage, Ben.
Me too. You ever see those Mustang Cobras when they first revamped them?
Yeah.
All right. So I think that was like 2005 or 2003. Might be 2003.
Yeah. Often featured on MTV Cribs. It was the car of the time.
Yeah.
When MTV Cribs was hot in the street.
I'm pulling up to the freeway. I'm in the fast lane on the freeway. It's a 5-lane freeway. And I'm fucking just gunning. And you can't hear nothing but my exhaust because my shit is so fucking loud, bro. I'm going like 80 miles an hour, not even tripping. This fucking Mustang pulls up right side of me. He's like, I'm like,
he wants to smoke.
Oh, he wanted all the smoke. All right. And I'm not one to give the smoke. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, no. I see you. I engage my NOS, fucking hit it. And then as soon as I hit him 100 miles an hour, I'm fucking like my front end, my springs were cut because I had lowered it. So like when it would lift up, you could hear the springs drop. And I'm like, click. And I'm fucking going and I'm fucking flying. And then there was a dip in the freeway. I hit that dip, caught some air. And then when I landed, I was boom, 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 boom. And when I finally got the car home, the camshaft completely snapped through the motor and folded like a fucking tortilla. It was like just block completely cracked down the middle. Like I said, the transmission was completely split, and I threw the gears right out the fucking diff.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Yeah, I was fucking flying though.
I don't think I've ever gone that fast in my life, or
Oh,
even within 100 miles an hour of it.
Oh man, let me tell you, the second fastest I've ever gone with an actual read on a speedometer was 145 because like I had to have a speedometer and a tack to make sure that I didn't blow shit up. If I never caught that bit of air, I'd have never blown that motor up. That shit was built fucking pretty tough.
Yeah, 190.
Oh yeah.
Goodness gracious.
Speed, bro. Speed.
You are speed. Ben Bowman, grit and speed.
No fucks given, man. No fucks. You never an ounce of fear. Just all go, all gas. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I love it's who you are, and it's beautiful.
That's it. I've gotten in so many fights because of that.
I mean, you're definitely someone that you would prefer to have in your corner than in the other corner.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. But like with the guys that I roll with, every one of them was one of those guys. Like growing up, I had 5 friends. Each one of them, their own reputation, and even though mine was the worst, each one of them were like right there. They were like, "Nah, I'm good."
How do they feel about you being like a suburban dad now?
We're all suburban dads.
Are you?
Yes, all of us are. Like every one of us ended up becoming successful in our own ways, and it's so fucking weird to us. It's so fucking weird. Yeah. Like my buddy owns a business. My cousin, which was one of my friends in that group, he ended up having high military clearance in the Navy, doing data analyzing satellite fucking relay shit. Like he's so up there in the military at the time that he was in that I would get phone calls, asking me questions and verifying him and making yeah, exactly.
I work in that industry. I get those. I know those calls.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like like every one of us, like and I don't even really consider myself like I'm just a regular suburban dad. I work at Costco. So I used to be a truck driver for Costco. Got divorced, took a step down from truck driving to work at night in a warehouse, got hurt at night, and now I'm a cashier at Costco, and I'm not even working now. I've been off for fucking workman's comp because I got hurt. But the thing is I'm successful in my own sense of like, I'm not at all doing what I am, because every one of our friends growing up, we all discussed it. We all talked about it. Like, it was drilled in our heads at 18, we're either dead or in jail, because that's how hard we went in the pain.
Yeah. Were any of you in jail? At 18?
Yeah, two of them, yes.
Prolonged times? For any amount of prolonged time, though?
No, only one person prolonged time, but everyone else kind of just like in and out. Luckily, like I said, at 8, right before I turned 18, I had my first son, and that's when I got my shit straight. I told myself, I'm done. I work. This is what I do. You know what I'm saying? Like I anything that was like that could compromise me taking care of my son, I pretty much cut loose. And like everyone in my neighborhood and everyone in the hood was like, respect, because if you're out, you're out. But if you're in, you have to be in. You can't be 1 foot out, 1 foot in, because if you're playing that slippery slope, they're like, nope, you're all the way in. We call you when we need you. You do your part. Otherwise, you're out. We respect it. Enjoy your life, but don't ever fucking cross that line, because then you're going to be expected.
This is all new to me. Thank you for this information.
Well, hey, real people accept it, because like I've known stacks of people who are like, I'm out. I'm just taking care of my family. And then all they want to do is party with their friends. I'm like, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that.
Can't have your cake and eat it too.
Exactly. And that's the truth. And like I said, they give respect to those who show that respect. And I've always been like, no, hey, I'm about my business. I'm about my kids. I'm about my family, because I didn't grow up with my dad. My dad dipped out when I was a kid, and I didn't meet him until I was probably maybe 30.
Really?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't even really talk to him after I met him, because like when I first met him, my plan was to just fuck him up. But I was at his mom's house, my grandma, which I've always had a relationship with.
Grandma's been in your life.
Yeah, grandma's been in my life. She summer times, and like, I put her through some bullshit, and she still, always made the effort and talked with me and took care of us and, seen us and stuff like that. Like, she always lived in another state, but she'd like, send them over for the summer. And my mom would be like, yep, get these fucking kids away from me. and you want to hear something really fucked up. One time my mom sent me to my grandma's house and took everyone else to Disneyland. I didn't go to Disneyland until I was 27.
You don't live that far either. You're around.
Yeah, I'm around, but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that sucks. Did you have a fun time at grandma's though when they went to?
Oh, I always had a fun time at grandma, because she was a waitress.
Yeah, and
so she would always bring home food, bring home snacks, and then like when she would bring home her tip, she'd be like, and give me all her coins. And my grandma was very trusting, because she like, if you want to go somewhere, go somewhere. So I'd literally, because in that moment in time, she lived in Washington. So I would hop on the bus, go completely across town, and go to the mall and play video games and run around the whole mall area. And I think I was like maybe 11.
That's insane. I mean, in your 20s, I don't think you have a good reference of 11-year-olds unless you're a weirdo. So I'm just trying to think, like, I coach a basketball team. I think those kids are like 10 and 11. I could have pictured them just going off, being like, I don't know, I went to the mall by myself. Well, especially nowadays with these like helicopter parents.
Hey, and that's the craziest thing, because like growing up, because my mom worked all the time. My grandma raised me, and I'm a big time grandma's boy. Yeah. Before she passed away, but she would tell me, wake me up early in the morning, get the fuck out of this house. And so I go to my buddy's house, I pick up my friends, and then just fucking run amok. We used to ride our bikes maybe like 20 miles away to like 2 towns over, and just fucking like just do stuff.
Yeah, I don't think I got that level of freedom till like 13. But also I was the youngest. And by the time like I was a teenager, my parents like, I don't know, we're going camping. You can stay home. Your brothers are working, I assume, so they might be around. I don't know. You'll be fine. So, but even then, I feel like I was like of a rarity in my friend group, which I think just shows like the times of like that doesn't happen anymore. Like, you don't get freedom till like 18 now. I feel like.
See, and it's the craziest fucking thing because like my son's 15.
Yeah.
And he's always like, I'm bored. Leave.
Fucking go somewhere. Yeah.
Go somewhere. Do something. You have a bike. You know how to work the bus. Like we have Clipper cards. So he's literally on his phone can pay for the bus. He doesn't even have to have fucking change. He can literally be like, I'm going on the bus to the mall. I'm going to the store. You know what I'm saying? There's a gas station less than a quarter mile from the house. And he's like, I don't want to go that far. I'm like, then I can't fucking help you.
I've recently reconnected with my friends from like middle school who we used to just do that. So like in summertime, every day in the summer, one of my friends lived like a mile and a half from me, mostly downhill. Every morning he would just bike to my house, and then me and him would bike over to our other friend's house, like a mile down the road from my house. And it was like every day during the summer. That was just what we did until one of us had like a baseball game or something.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, cool, we got to get going. I got to run to practice now. And it's like you just hang out in a cul-de-sac and just fuck around with other kids who are doing the same shit all summer.
Yeah, and that's like specifically what's supposed to be happening. So like even now with my younger son, his name's Anthony. He's all, I want to go to the movies with my friends. I'm like, then set it up. I always tell him, set it up. Guess what? I'll pay for you and your friends to go. I'll give you guys fucking money for soda and fucking popcorn, pick you guys the fuck up, and drop you guys the fuck off. Yeah. But if you do not plan it, schedule it, get me an address, tell me exactly when to pick you guys the fuck up and take you, it's not going to happen. And guess what he does now? He schedules his shit with his friends, and his friends, you know, like he's like, why are we scared? Why are you setting this all up? Why don't your parents do it? Because my dad won't fucking do it for me. Because guess the fuck what? I never did that. We used to get on the train, drive fucking cities over to go to a $2 movie theater with my friends all night long.
Is there anything better than the cheap movie theater, by the way?
There is nothing better than a cheap movie theater.
You spend $7 on popcorn, but the matinee is like $2.50. You're going to see like Pink Panther 2. And you're like, nothing's good at this theater, but let's go to the cheap movie.
$2. It's an adventure. We're going to hang out in front, bullshit with everybody out front, and have a good fucking time.
My childhood ended when the like AMC bought out our like local cheap movie theater. That was when my childhood ended. They put in the nice seats. I was like, no, this is where you go when you're 14 and want to like touch your first titty, but you only have $8 to your name. You can't take that from us.
Which they did. And when that $2 movie theater closed, it was like,
yeah. Because they always close. Because guess what? $2 movies are not sustainable business.
Not sustainable. But
all right, it's so worth it out loud. It makes sense. It's all connecting.
It's all coming back. But the thing, it was like that fun thing to do. And like my son has the most difficult problem of like getting his friends. Like, and this is the thing too, is like he wants his friends to come over. I'm like, invite them over. It's as easy as that. Tell them to come over and hang the fuck out. And they're like, well, they don't want to let him hang out. Do they want to talk to me? I'll go talk to the parents. This is what they're going to see, and that's what they're going to fucking know. But I'll speak to your parents, talk to your parents. I'm not a fucking weirdo. I'm a regular fucking dad.
Those pre-asking your parents if you can go hang out with whatever person, though, when you know they're in a bad mood.
Yeah.
Those you had to like game plan. You'd be on Xbox, be like, okay, so what we're going to tell them, we'll say that like this shit and that. And we know if we say it like this, maybe they'll be like, okay, they can sleep over. You have those, you have it like every answer plotted out.
You got to pre-game. You got to pre-set it up. And that's what I try to do for it. Because like at the same time, I'm trying to teach him this responsibility of planning and setting it up. So he's not some fucking scatterbrain, not wondering, what are we doing today? Because that drives me fucking nuts.
Yeah.
You know, because, remember he was talking about like getting with your friends and going to do stuff. When we were younger, and me and like I said, all five of us grew up within one block of each other. These are the hardcore 5 friends. I talk to these guys all the fucking time.
Yeah.
We're all brother. They've been in my wedding, everything. And so we would break into apartment complexes and go swimming every summer.
Yeah.
And then when the security guard would come out, we'd be like, oh, we're at this apartment with this person, because we would look up the address and then try to see the name so they can be, oh, okay. And then we did it so often that they're like, you guys are fucking lying. We fucking know it. You know what? Just let us know you're here and then go swimming.
Yeah.
Because they would call the cops on us, but we'd dip out, but we'd be there the exact same time the very next fucking day.
Listen, narcs create ingenuity, okay?
That they do.
So there's this big lake called Lake Massabesic. It's the drinking water for most of New Hampshire. And it was right by my house. It was like a reservoir pond type thing, like kind of behind the woods. So it's not like one of those like, oh, they live on a lake. It's like it was kind of in the woods. But me and my buddies lived on like one of the corners of it by a reservoir.
Yeah.
So we would all go meet up at the one buddy's house who was the closest to the woods. And then you're not allowed to swim because it's the drinking water or go in it or fish or anything like that. So we would go down these elaborate deep woods paths, like just to stay away. And they would roll, like they'd see us from across the way, like a mile away on the other shore, and then come around. And then like, so an hour and a half later, we'd hear them trying to find us. So then they'd roll up with their boats. We'd have to move our stuff. They roll up in their trucks. I mean, at some point we have like contraptions of string and cans for them to know they're coming. And we're just 14 fishing. We don't need licenses. And anytime they catch us, they're like, what's your name? I mean, I'm Zach Knowles. I'm Tuba. What are you talking about? The authority creates ingenuity. And I feel like that's just all it did. You gotta have a chance to make canned traps to hear the water patrol coming.
I used to use a celebrity rapper name as my alias, and and one time I used it, and I was at school. I was, because I went to James Logan. I was so bad at the school, but I just, like I said, I was never one to start issues. I was always one to finish issues.
Yes.
And so it got to the point where the continuation school wouldn't take me. So the high school was like, look, we're giving you 4 periods of class. You leave before lunch. And so
you caused that many problems during lunch that they were like, you're not allowed at lunch.
Yeah, you're not allowed at lunch. Like literally I would have 3 hours of school and then I'd go home. That was literally my schedule for school.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, the kid that they called to the office. Every middle school has them. The kid that like every day you can count on the office being like, David to the office, David, please to the office. You're like, what do you fucking do this time?
And see, here's the thing too, is like they because we had house principals, so it was like 4, because the school was so big that they had 4 different principals for each, for a certain amount. And so my principal was a very cool guy, very laid back, and he made the mistake of the first time I told him, do not call my grandma, call my mom. And he called my grandma, and my grandma laid so hard into him. He was just like, Ben, go home. Don't even, I'm not going to tell anybody you're going home. Everyone knows you're leaving. Just go home. And so every time I get in trouble or something would happen, he'd be like, I'm not calling, you know the routine, Ben, leave the campus. And so I would have to leave the campus, but he would never inform my mom or my grandma. He would just be like, just leave. Just leave. You're not going to get in trouble. Because and then this is the most funniest thing too, because I could still remember this principal's face. We had got this new principal in, and he was trying to make a point to me.
Oh no!
He was like,
that can't end well.
Oh yeah, no, it did not end well at all. Because like what he ended up doing was he threatened me. We're going to take you away from your mom, take you away from your family. I stood up, I looked him straight in his face. I was like, you take me away from my mom, you take me away from my family. You're not going to understand what I'm going to do. I will be the worst fucking person you've ever fucking seen, ever come across. Take me from my mom right fucking now and see what the fuck. And my mom is sitting there listening to me do this. And she was like,
I mean, listen,
I heard him. Yeah, you heard him.
Are you gonna give that a go?
Yeah, because in high school I was already 6'5".
Yeah,
I was already 300 pounds, fucking jacked.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like when I was in high school, I was peak fucking like. I didn't have a lot of muscle, but I was I was like this guy was like maybe 5'10". I'm looking down at him. Try it. try
You ever
it.
play
And he was
sports
just
or
like,
anything?
just you guys can go home and never fuck with me again.
Did you ever play sports or anything, or were you like?
I was supposed. No. Unfortunately, I fucked up too much to play sports because I was recruited to play football. I was actually recruited to throw discus and shot put because of how like.
Yes, you're built for.
No, and I was as because I did it in middle school. I was breaking records in middle school and for our district, like, and without even training or practice. Like the first time I threw a shot,
the rock. Yeah.
The first time they gave me a shot put, they're like, "You're gonna hold it like this and you throw it." I said, "Oh, okay," and I threw it, and the guy was like, "You didn't even spin." I didn't spin, didn't do nothing. I just chucked it. And they were just like, that beats the record already.
Yeah, the levels between so I was a thrower for a few years, and in middle school and in high school. The difference between the people who are truly just like so strong, and then like the average. So then there's the average people. Like I fell in the slightly like above average, like pretty good, like 30 meters. And then you have like the tubas of the world who look like me, and then they're like, yeah. And it goes like 10 meters.
Yeah.
But these guys who are next level, they're doubling up the people who are like above average. And you're like, we are not doing the same activity. These things we're doing that are the same are not the same.
Like I said, it was the weirdest thing because like they were like I was so bad that they couldn't overlook what I was doing.
Yeah.
Like I was in so much trouble because they were like, no, we can, like I was in that year. I was in the phase of year where it was the beginning of No Kid Get Left Behind.
Nice.
And like we can overlook things, but unfortunately I got in so much trouble that they couldn't, that there was like no wiggle room. There were just like, because as a freshman, I was bigger than any senior player that they had.
Yeah.
They were, they were just like, oh, we need you. And I'm like,
when did you get that big?
I've been this big my whole life.
No, like at what age did you like 6'5" or like, when did you peak 6 feet?
When I peaked 6 feet in I want to say the 5th grade.
I mean, that's just.
Well, and here's the thing: at 10 years old, or it was 11 years old.
Yeah,
I was already 5'11". You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I was just. No one knows. Like my dad 6 foot on a good day. My mom is like 5'2".
Yeah,
yeah. You know what I'm saying? My mom is 5'2", maybe 5'1", and nobody was like. Everyone was like, just freak. Like my brother's 6'2". My sister is probably like 5'10". Both my sisters probably about 5'10", 5'9". You know what I'm saying? And I just rolled the luck of the dice of just having these freak fucking genetics, bro.
Yeah, growing up, they told my parents that I'd be the short one, and that we're all pretty tall in general. But my two brothers are like, I was just short and stout, just a straight up bowling ball at like 11 years old, just a round shaped person. And they're like, yeah, he's going to be the shortest, and these other two will be tall and skinny. And now I'm the tallest, and it's pretty great. It's pretty great to be like, hey, remember when the doctor said you guys were going to beat me? I win.
And that's my youngest son right now at 10 years old.
Oh, yeah. When you can beat up your older brother at a significant age difference, it feels great.
It does. My youngest son, everyone picks on him, but he's going to be the genetically gifted one.
Yeah.
Because right off top, like I said, he's only 10, and he's probably, I want to say 5, maybe 5'8", 5'6".
Yep.
And, he's not the height that I had, but the thing is like, when the doctors give you those percentage, he's like in the 130 percentile of his age.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's just
this doesn't happen. I don't know what to tell you.
Exactly. And what's making me even more happy is, I've coached baseball, managed baseball. I've done every one of my kids' sports, but he never really baseball, never was his thing, but he just did it because we had him do it. And he's at the age where he's like, I don't want to do it anymore. I'm like, all right. But the thing is he this year, I don't know what sparked it. I don't know what hit it, but he is like in tune with football. Cause like right when the preseason hit or the postseason hit, he's like, Dad, I want to watch the game. I'm like, come on. Well, sit down. Like usually, like I'll watch my game and then I'll kind of just watch, scores from there. But so we started getting Sundays and Saturdays of football. He's having a good fucking time. Now he's asking stats and questions and updates. He moves, turns, and I'm like, oh shit, we're about to fucking be football fucking moneyed up.
Yeah, that's one of my biggest regrets is I just never played football, and like. The local coaches were like, will you play offensive line on my team? And I'll be like, I play baseball. Sorry.
Yeah.
And they're like, you're a built 6'3" kid who's got some weight on him.
Yeah.
Like, I don't be like, yeah, sorry. I'm a contact hitting third baseman. They're like, none of this is adding up. I'm like, I don't know, man. You want to come to my game?
At 14 years old, because this was middle school. I want to say it was middle school. I believe 14. It's like my 8th grade year. And I wanted to play football too, but I couldn't do for high school yet because I wasn't in high school. So I wanted to do City League.
Were they just like, you're too big? Yeah,
that's exactly what happened. Like the weight limit for my age group was like 120 pounds, and I weighed 220. I'm like, they're just like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, like, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I walked in, they were like, oh my God, we need you on our team. Yeah. But you're just too big. I'm like, God, name of the game, man. I've always been too big.
That's a shame.
It is.
Just think if they let you on that team, you might be blocking for Patrick Mahomes right now.
Right now, crushing people.
Yeah, just dominating people.
It's like I said, it's the craziest thing. And like I said, I always wanted to do sports, but the streets was just calling me too hard because, like, my family, like in my neighborhood, because I'm born and raised in Decoto. It's Decoto, Decoto, but it's a district of Union City. It's 2 cities put together. So they basically took 2 small cities and put them together. And I'm literally on the wrong side of the tracks. And my family has been established in Union City since it was created. And I have a poster in here of one of my it's like a 3-time removed uncle fucking shot the fucking police chief in the head right in his office and got off.
And got off.
He was a corrupt cop, and he was able to prove it and all that stuff. But fucking blasted him in his fucking head, dead center, in the fucking police station.
That's a bold move.
It is what it is.
See, the him getting off part isn't what's incredible to me. It's that other cops did not murder him after he killed the chief in the police station.
Well,
I feel like that calls for immediate execution.
Oh, it does. But like I said, the neighborhood I grew up in is 100% Chicano ran, where it's like in the Bay Area.
Yeah,
my city is like, how you always hear, if you got to watch out in Oakland.
Yep.
All right. In Oakland, you got to watch out for Decoto.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, exactly. That's the level of respect that my neighborhood got and gets, because that's how crazy it is, where it's like, oh shit. Like you even like if one of the things that people always get, people's like, where are you from? And I'm from Decoto, and people will be like, oh, have a good day.
Yeah. Ben, you live an interesting life.
Well, I've had a good run, you know what I'm saying? And all I ever did is have fun, you know what I'm saying? Because every time I look back, there was crazy, life-threatening events. I've been chased by a mob. I've been fucking like sought after, just literally looked after to fucking, like, I've had people coming for me to kill me, know it, and somehow still walked away from it. You know what I'm saying? And yet I'm still fucking standing.
You're my favorite suburban dad.
And then
Number one. Chris Wetsky was for a while, but I think you've taken the crown.
Well, I'm sorry, Wetsky. It is what it is. Like I said, I've done some crazy. It's always fun because even my wife, when I tell her these stories, and when we first met, she was like, "I can't see you doing any of these things." I'm like, well, they all happened.
I mean, anytime you come on my show, people are like, "Is he for real?" I'm like, "He's for real." They're like, "Are you sure?" I was like, "I can assure you, he's not lying." They're like, "I mean, a heart attack?" I'm like, "Yep."
With surgery, awake, while Slayer was playing in the background. All right.
They're like, I don't know. I'm like, no. It's legit. It's legit.
It's legit. They're like, oh yeah.
For sure.
Even when I had my first stroke, I had the stroke.
First stroke.
I'm telling you.
I love you, Ben.
Did I ever tell you this story? What happened when I had my stroke?
I think so. I think you.
I had fell asleep and thought my body was half asleep.
God. Just went to bed.
Yeah, because I worked at night. I worked from 6 to 6, and so when I would get home, I would get like a half hour of sleep, wake up, get the kids ready for school, and then take them to school. So instead of getting undressed, I would just lay on my bed. And I had laid on my left side of my bed on the thing. My alarm went off. I was like, like slobber all on my face. Like, like when you sleep on, it's like it's numb because you slept on it.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, that feels weird. And so I'm taking to get the kids all ready, breakfast, everything. I dropped my first son off, or my daughter off at school. I'm taking my son to his, because I got to go to 3 different schools in the morning. I'm heading to the second school. And I'm like, man, my face still feels weird. So my sister's a nurse. And so I call her. I'm like, hey, like whoop-de-whoop, my fucking face feels weird. And she's all, what? I was like, and I tell her how I'm feeling. She's like, you're fucking having a stroke. Go to the hospital. So I take my son to school, drop my other son off at school.
You're like, I got to finish my errands.
And then, I call, Kristen, before we got married, I called her. I was like, hey, my sister says I'm having a stroke. I'm going to get ready to head to the hospital. And then after I hung up with her, I called my brother. I'm like, hey, I'm having a stroke. I'm going to the hospital. He's okay. Well, I'm at the house waiting for you. I was like, I'll go pick you up. So I go pick him up. I'm like, let me just take a shower. So I take a shower. Me and him go to the hospital, and sure as shit, I'm having a stroke. They gave me some blood.
You had a whole ass day where you were just doing shit, driving around with a stroke.
But who wants to go to the hospital sweating and stinking from the day before?
It's true. No, I mean, I don't want to go to the hospital ever, especially after my San Francisco experience. Also, I'm not a fan of hospitals. I'll say it. Nope.
Well, I mean, neither am I, because I'll tell you right now, the beds are too small and they fucking can't support the weight of a bigger person.
It's true.
Very true. You know what I'm saying? When I had damage in my shoulder, because I got ran over by when I got ran over by the forklift, the nurse that checked me, all right, did this in front of my mom and my brother. Because when I was passed out, they took off all my clothes, high off Dilaudid, bro, because they shot me so much full of Dilaudid, because the MRI machine's only so big, and at that time I had so much mass that they had to shove me into the MRI machine to give me an MRI, because my shoulders wouldn't fit, and they're like, this is gonna hurt, we're gonna dope you up and then put you in the machine.
Oh my god.
So they shoved me into the fucking MRI machine. I'm all doped up. My mom's in the emergency room, and my brother's in the emergency room. The nurse comes in, and it's this Filipino lady. She's checking all my vitals. She walks right over to my gown, flips my gown over, looks at my dick, and was like, huh. Smiled and was like, okay. Because apparently someone else must have seen it, and she had to go see it too. And so fucking, and my mom was like, and my brother was like, did you just look at your dick? And I'm like,
sure did.
Sure did.
Look at your brother. You know what? She proves. So
it needed proof of life.
God. What a life.
And my mom still brings that up too. She's like, you remember? I'm like, stop talking about that, Mom.
I mean, when I left the hospital a couple weeks ago, my dad's like, oh, they wouldn't let me go in. I was like, well, Dad, I just got ass blasted by a Chinese Asian woman, so I think it's pretty good he didn't come in. He's like, oh, I guess not. I was like, yeah.
It goes like that. Never tell them your poop is black because they're gonna shove that. They're gonna give you 3 deep, bro.
That was not fun.
It is not fun. Trust me. You're not the only one, brother, because it happens to all of us.
I figured not.
Yeah.
I just was not prepared.
Nobody is prepared. There's not enough lube in the world to be prepared.
I didn't get lubed, all right? I just had a surprise stick up my ass, and I was not a fan of it.
She gave I'm going to bite your ear.
Yeah, I'd prefer that. At least kiss my neck before you finger blast my anus, okay? Yeah.
You're going to feel a little pressure.
I didn't even get that. She was like, hey, turn over. I was like, oh, for what? Oh, okay. Hello.
She's in there. Don't get a boner. Don't get a boner.
I was literally sitting there be like, it's a good story for the podcast. Good story for the podcast.
Content.
It was
Content.
I was sitting there being like, what a piece of shit I am. Being like, all right, well, at least this will be a funny story for the show.
It's how it goes, brother. It's how it goes. You know, I've been to the hospital too many fucking times.
I have not, and I'm still not.
Yeah, don't. Take care of your health, eat right, and fucking be right.
All right. I'll start running again just for you, Ben.
That's it. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to go fast. You ain't got to go slow. You just got to go.
I used to run a lot, and then I dislocated my shoulder pretty bad, and it took me out of like my routine. It was the best routine I was ever in. Like a daily, every single day, I would go to the gym. I would run a few miles. Like I was eating pretty good. That was when I was like at my lowest weight. And then I dislocated my shoulder, and it's just been not good since.
Fucking sucks.
Doing some fucking dumb shit too.
No. What were you doing?
I was at my buddy's like cabin in the woods. We had like a bunch of us went up, like probably like 20 of us, and just like camped and stayed in this cabin. And it's like his family's hunting cabin. When you think New Hampshire, like I live in a city, which is very rare, but when you think New Hampshire, this is what you should think is the type of place we went to. Like 3 hours into the woods, like hunting cabin. No internet for a mile and a half.
Damn.
Insane mile, like an hour and a half away from you last had service type place. And we had a bonfire. And all day, one of my buddies was teaching me how to do like a running barrel roll type thing, like a front flip and then roll it out, like land on your back and roll it and then like up. So I was doing it on grass and stuff. And then I was starting to do it like further and I was getting it down. I was getting this barrel roll down. Not even a barrel roll, just like a half flip. I don't know. So I'm getting confident and there's a bonfire, right? And I'm like, okay, I can do this. I do a couple jumps over the bonfire, like getting the groove down, getting the distance down because I don't want to die.
Yeah.
So now I have to jump over the fire down. I know where I'm going to go. I know where I need to land on this flip. I go to flip. I see fire below me midair. I leap, right? This is like episode 1 of The Plunge, too. It's like I leap. I look down as I'm in my flip, get terrified because there's fire below, and then just proceed to not flip. So then it's like I'm doing just a diving headbutt to the ground. And I just land shoulder first. And I'm also shit-faced, clearly.
Oh, wait. Everything sounds like a good idea.
Yeah. So I land on my shoulder. I'm like, ow. Also, there's videos of this, and it is incredible. But so I'm shit-faced. I don't feel it that bad. I'm like, I think I'm just going to go to bed. And they're like, okay. I wake up at like 4 a.m. in excruciating pain. Just I'm in like this shitty bunk bed, like, and I'm like, ow, what fucking happened? I'm walking around like and I just deal with it for the weekend. We're in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, there's no fixing.
Yeah, there's no fixing this. Like,
give me more alcohol, goddammit.
I didn't know if I like broke my shoulder or something because it felt more of like a break than like a dislocation. So I didn't even think to, see if my shoulder is out of its socket. So I'm at work. I have a buddy that I work with, and he's like, he has no idea about any of this. So like we walk and get coffee or something. We sit back down. I'm at my desk, and he's like, hey man, your right arm looks a lot longer than your left arm right now. And I was like, weird that you say that because let me tell you, I was like, I think I dislocated my shoulder this weekend. He's like, you dislocated your shoulder 4 days ago? And I was like, I think so. Yeah. He's like, and you have not popped it back in. I was like, So then he's like, we look it up. So I was like, maybe it's not dislocated. It's just fucking broken or something. So I look up like how to pop your shoulder back in by yourself. And it's like, grab the back here, push up or something. And I'm like, oh, this definitely won't work. I'm fine.
Yeah, it's not going to hurt.
I do it. I pop and you just hear like it pop right back in. And me and my friend are just like looking at each other. I was like, you heard that, right? He's like, yeah, I heard that. He's like, it was really loud. So that's how I had a dislocated, non-fixed shoulder for 4 days, and then it was really bad.
Damn.
Not healed properly for a very long time. Took me out of my routine.
Oh yeah, that would definitely take you out of the routine. God fucking damn.
It was funny though, because like even like shoulder press, I could not do a 25-pound shoulder press for 2 years. Like,
damn. Yeah, that's definitely something really fucking fucked up in there.
Well, it would be funny because I'd be going around doing the machines at the gym and stuff. I'll do like a bicep thing. I'm out here doing like with 100 pounds on the thing, and then I go to the shoulder. So I was like, imagine if someone was watching me and they're like, this dude's crushing weight, and then he gets to the shoulder press and he is shaking, quivering with 25 pounds on the thing. Oh my
god!
I was like, this must be hilarious if anyone's just watching me, being like, what is going on?
What is happening?
It was bad.
No, I tell you right now, that's like I said. I've had some. I don't think I've ever really broken. I've dislocated my finger and popped it back in, but I've never broke anything. I've gotten deep cuts. You know what I'm saying? But that's about it.
I've broken my thumb. That's it.
Oh.
And you know what sucks about the thumb? So I had a break in the middle of the thumb.
Yeah.
So they had to like full arm cast because I guess if it slips, like the top part and the bottom slip, you're just fucked forever, and you're gonna have like you'll need
weird thumb.
Yeah, you'll have screw type stuff to like screw your thumb back together. So for a broken thumb, most fingers you break, they're like, I don't know, man, that sucks. You have a broken finger now. Like, here's a splint, maybe. Like that's the extent of a broken finger. Thumb, I had a cast up to here for like 3 months. Also for some stupid shit. We were this was with my neighbors. Fuck Riggs. This kid's name is Riggs. Stupid name. He was named after a NASCAR person. That tells you all you need to know about him. He was my neighbor growing up. We had a gang in our neighborhood, like not your type of gang, but more a friendship gang. And this kid, I live in the Northeast, so snows. So we would like do random shit, and this had a big hill in his backyard, an old Riggs's backyard, and we would do random shit. So one day we were like, let's go human bowling. So you get on your tube. We had 4 of us, so 3 of us would go stand in a triangle at the bottom of the hill, and one of you tries to knock them all down. And this fucking idiot, as I'm coming, tries to jump over me, coming in at like 30 miles an hour.
Oh my god!
And I just take a snow boot to the thumb at 30 miles an hour. He's like, oh, I was like, my thumb hurts. He's like, well, I tried to jump. I was like, I know.
You kicked it.
And then I threw him into his empty in-ground swimming pool. And then his dad was like, what are you doing? I was like, I just threw your son into this swimming pool. What are you going to do about it? He just broke my thumb.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're about to have it out.
Yeah.
I think like if anything, my worst injury was when I burnt my eyeball. I think that
doesn't sound pleasant at all.
Oh no! This goes back to when I used to work at the U.S. Pipe Foundry.
Of course, I assumed. I'm going to be honest with you, Ben. I assumed so.
Just, it's safe to say.
Yeah.
A piece of molten iron had like a little BB shot out the machine, went through my safety glasses, and burned my eyelid to my eyeball.
Oh my god.
Yeah. It was literally the sound of cooking bacon. That's exactly what it sounded like. Like, when the bacon's sizzling real hot.
I'm familiar.
And it was like I could smell the eye burning. And like I'm like covering my eye, and somehow I was able to get out of the maze of where I was working. got to the nurse, told them what happened. They patched, they covered me up, ran water, all that stuff. I get to the emergency room, and they had to pull, like, it was literally just a BB like size of molten iron. And the specialist that saw me was like a millimeter over. Yeah, I would have had to get a cornea transplant.
Yeah.
But what ended up happening is it burned the skin of my eyelid to my eyeball. So like they had to do a skin graft from the inside of my lip and put it inside my eye.
Wow.
But I almost died during the surgery because whatever happened with the anesthesia was too much. So like and the first skin graft didn't take. So I had to have the my eye sewn shut for a month for the skin graft to work. It didn't work. So they had to do another surgery. So they had to wait for me to heal up. After that healed up, they had to do a second one. But they ended up having to pull my eyelid down, put those things that spread your eyelids. So they had to give me 21 injections inside my eyelid, and I had to watch every one of those needles go in.
Because you have no choice.
No choice. And so I'm watching.
That's my worst nightmare. I am not bad with needles, but I can't look at it.
Oh, me too right now.
That is my worst fucking nightmare. Holy shit.
Oh yeah. Hey, so they did. I got 20 in the eye, 20 in the lip, and then halfway through the surgery, everything wears off. And so they had to do more in my eye halfway through the surgery. So I'm like, this shit. I'm sitting there like doing my best not to fucking move because they were telling me how much I couldn't move. So they literally had to do more injections, and I felt every fucking thing. And until once it numbed up, they did the rest of the surgery and sewed my eye shut for another month.
I'm glad you're alive.
Well, yeah, I always joke with my wife. I was like, I think I'm immortal because they've thrown everything at me.
Yeah. You're the final boss, and people just keep coming. User players just keep coming through, and you're like, I'm just not beatable.
Well, let me tell you, if we go to the list, I've been hit 3 times by a car, 2 by a regular car, 1 by a cop car, by a forklift. I've been shot at point blank. I'm trying to think. Burned, smashed, stabbed.
God's taken his shots a few times.
Yeah. And I like to think of them as reminders of stop fucking up.
Yeah. I mean, God's giving you his best shot. He's like, I don't know. I've sent this dude 3 heart attacks, 4
You know
strokes.
what I'm saying? He's had 2 strokes already. I don't know if he's got. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I don't feel blessed. I just feel like I can handle it. God only gives you what you can handle.
If that's not the fucking tagline for this show, I don't feel blessed. I can just handle it. Goodness gracious.
Oh, yeah. Well, brother, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Help me get back in the swing of things. You know what I'm saying? Needed a little break, but it feels good to be back.
Absolutely. I don't know what a break feels like, but I would love one at some point.
Well,
maybe one day Hunter can take the reins for like 2 weeks.
You see that, Hunter? Take the fucking reins for 2 fucking weeks. Pull your fucking weight. You're starting to get jacked. You're getting all tatted. Guess the fuck what? You know what I'm saying?
It's time for you to take some responsibilities down here.
Just a little bit, Hey, guess what? We all go to school. We all have responsibilities. We all have jobs.
No, Ben, what you're not getting is that Hunter's the only person in the entire planet who has ever had a job.
Oh, yeah. But you know what I'm saying? He might be the only one who had the job, but you know what? I feel he's blessed and he can handle it.
He can handle it, and he's blessed. It has been my pleasure. Thank you. It's my first time on here.
First time on the show.
I mean, you've helped us out countless times when we've needed a hand. So
and I appreciate it.
I needed to come on here.
Oh yeah.
I feel like I haven't done many guest spots probably in like 2 years. Used to, when I was trying to grow the show, like I was trying to pop on wherever I could, and now it's a selective choice. And
and that's the thing is like when you got time, you can do it. But when you're busy, you're fucking busy. And you're at that age where you got to get shit done.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm at that age where, you know what? I got time to do it all.
Yep.
So everybody, thanks for fucking listening and all that fucking bullshit. We're part of the Inner Motherfucking Circle podcast. The Inner Circle podcast is the group powerful podcasters out there sharing their shit. That is innercirclepn.com. Find every one of our shows, every one of our websites. Creatures of the Night, The Hood Diner, Untrained Eye, The Plunge, Failing Hollywood, Simmons and More podcast. Shit happens when you party naked. It's too fucking hot for the internet, so it has to be on Patreon at T-mail me. Make sure you go check it the fuck out. This is the Angry Motherfucking Dad, and we'll see y'all motherfuckers on the next one. Fuck.
Always living. Always living. Always living. Always living.